You have seen Charlie Hunnam in movies such as King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and in The Gentleman, where he undoubtedly did good performances. But this one called True Story of the Kelly Gang, released the same year in 2019, is one that surely has gone under the radar. But all the same, this movie is one where Charlie Hunnam also does a good performance, and it is also the most underrated movie Charlie Hunnam has ever played in. In the movie, if we talk about that first, they place this Sergeant O'Neill, that is this brutal guy that uses the murder of Ned, and also treats his family like shit, because it is all about the people in the bushes versus the English authority that are chasing them every minute, and they are being harshly punished if they break their strict rule. In this role, you really see him like in some other roles as this devious, manipulative, and selfish character that of course is no different from any other man. That is all about power misusage against the weak. If we talk about the lead character here, he is also very well written. The little boy called Ned, which at first is played by Orlando Schwerdt, then played by Judge Mckay. Both these actors do really heartfelt performances and makes the movie better as a whole. I really like how the character in this movie progresses from being this little more insecure boy pushed by his manipulative mother that goes around and horses out to guys to gain favors, into then being a real hardcore man that is on a rampage against the world and the authorities that has done him harm. In a way, it is a much better version of Legends of the Fall, when they talk about it as about being a man and all about masculinity and everything. But this movie is a much better version of that, because you really see the Ned character's journey in a movie with great character building, where he is first told by Russell Crowe how he is to become a man and learns to pull the trigger on a gun, after being sold for 15 pounds by his mom in order to be his little helper. Of course, naturally that goes wrong, and he reacts with resentment towards his mother, and she is disappointed with him that he did not become a hero and didn't want to die for her. But nonetheless, he becomes that after a while in the movie anyway, when he joins his brother's crazy gang that was dresses to battle for some reason. It is here he becomes exactly what his mother intended him to be, and he dies a death like a real Kelly, as you see it. In some actions, that seems unlikely by the beginning, because then it didn't seem to be that he wanted to be such a cruel, dark man fueled by hate and anger towards the system. But this movie just goes to show what could change in the blink of an eye. Mostly because the trade between him and Constable Fitzpatrick didn't work, which leads us to another fine performance, the one done by Nicholas Hoult. That becomes the chaser in this movie. His business is of course to take down Ned, his brothers, and his crazy gang. It is a role where he plays very good, because you can just see how his selfish appearance, yet the friendly disguise at the same time, opens up for a character with many layers. Because at first he may seem friendly, he may seem to actually care, but then, instead, it turns out he is just as brutal and non-caring as any other English authority person during that time. Naturally, however, I do like this kind of cat and mouse interaction between Ned and Fitzpatrick, when he is at his house to flirt with his woman with a baby, or when he suddenly shows up at his house looking at the warships and they go in a heated argument. Also, of course, when Fitzpatrick interrogates his wife, and it is some interesting scenes with heat and fire you surely do not see too much in other movies. As for the storytelling itself, I think that's something they also do better in this movie than in Legends of the Fall. Because while it is tiresome to hear the what sort of thing in that movie, the story is far from that here. Just like in the first 300 movie, the storyteller manages to build interest and really write into the story of cruelty and crime. As for the character itself, I think everybody right down from Essie Davis to Charlie Hunnam does great performances, and it just shows how movies before the pandemic were better at creating good stories, confirming once again that this really is the most underrated movie Charlie Hunnam has ever played in. The movie itself is more than most a brutal, historic tale about this Ned character, and I think the mood, the world they try to show, this brutalized environment, the movie really shakes the leaves all around you as you watch it, because it is a highly violent movie, not for the faint of heart. And as far as the rating goes, I will give this a strong 7.